Welcome to the Workamper Show, a podcast devoted to helping you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. I'm Steve Anderson, the president of Workamper News. Each one of our episodes will either introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to opportunities to work short-term jobs. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Thank you, Steve. Today I'll speak with someone from the RV Park Management Company who helps campground owners improve their operations as well as run the parks for absentee owners. He's looking for work campers not only at the 3 parks he owns in Florida and Texas, but also for other parks within their network around the nation. Today's episode is sponsored by The Dreamer's Journey. It's a new online course and community produced by Workamper News. Life is way too short to keep your dreams on hold, so don't be held back by fear because you were designed for more. Get started in the RV lifestyle the right way with this comprehensive guide. For just $29.95 for 90 days of access, Dreamers have unlimited viewing of 50 plus videos to learn things like what type of RV to buy, goal setting, how to budget for the adventure, developing a positive mindset, setting up a domicile, operating a small business on the road, plus all about work camping and how to find the right job for you. Each video is 30 to 90 minutes long, providing in-depth coverage on each topic. There's no wrong time to get started, so for more information, visit www.rvdreamersjourney.com. Austin Faught is the founder and president of RV Park Management, a company located near San Antonio. His firm owns 2 RV parks in Texas and 1 in Florida. However, his company also manages RV parks for people who buy campgrounds but don't want to manage the day-to-day operations of the business. Austin had worked in commercial real estate for about 10 years and came up with the business idea while pursuing his first RV park investment in 2017. He discovered a number of inefficiencies in RV park management. He had lots of questions. However, there were not many companies available to help him understand the ins and outs of running a campground. The ability to acquire the RV park was an ideal business opportunity for him, but he knew he'd need a team of professionals to profitably run the park. The structure he created to support that first RV park now works to support other RV park owners. Each of the parks Austin owns has a separate management team who hires work campers to help maintain the property, take reservations, check guests in and lead them to their sites, as well as provide the level of service to guests work campers like to receive themselves when they're traveling. The beauty of working for a company like RV Park Management is that when work campers are ready to explore another area, they can switch locations but still have a job somewhere else that is run just like the campground they left. The systems are the same, as are the processes. What's different is the scenery. Austin likes to hire work campers because they understand what customers expect and they're really tuned into what it takes to deliver first-class service. Because the parks are available in southern states, the jobs are generally open year-round. What makes RV Park Management so unique is that some of the jobs are available to work campers can be performed remotely. The company established a call center of sorts that works as a backup to the office staff at each of the parks. For example, if the phone rings but the staff at the RV park is busy helping another guest in the office, rather than going to voicemail, the call is directed to a call center, which may be another person working from his or her RV. To tell us more about his company and the way RV Park Management utilizes work campers, please welcome Austin Faught to the show. Thank you for joining me today, Austin. I really appreciate the time. Tell me a little bit about RV Park Management, where it's located, and what you do.
Well, thank you for having me with you today, Greg. I'm happy to be here to talk about this. RV Park Management is a full-service RV park management company. We provide full-service management and consulting services to owners. We also own parks of our own. We have 3 parks, 2 in Texas and 1 in Florida that we own, and then we manage parks for owners, mostly in the Southeast. We're a pretty new company. I've been in commercial real estate for about a decade and got into RV parks in 2017 and really started ramping up in 2019. So our company is just a couple of years old. Our website's rvparkpm.com, and you can see a lot of our services that we have there. We're based in Central Texas. I live just north of San Antonio, and my team is here and scattered around a little bit. We don't all work from a central office. We work from home.
Okay, very good. And so how'd you come up with this idea to manage parks for other people?
I worked on my first RV park investment in 2017, and it was very enlightening. I had experience in other commercial real estate before then, and when I started working on that RV deal in 2017, I realized there were inefficiencies in the RV park market, one of which was that there were not many or any management companies available to me. So if I was going to buy that park, I needed to self-manage and hire a team and know how to run an RV park. And that experience of going through that first opportunity in 2017, I knew then that I would start a management company for this business. And so here we are 4 years later, and that's what's happened.
Very good. It sounds like the right idea, because a lot of people buy RV parks thinking they're going to be retirement investments, right? They can kick back and just let the money go ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. They don't realize until they buy one and start working in it that how much work is really involved in managing an RV park day to day.
It's an enormous amount of work. You're absolutely right. And it's an interesting opportunity for people that are in space, because you can, if you know how to do it, you're helping to create a more efficient business. And when the RV park business becomes more efficient, it gets better. People can offer more services, and owners become more sophisticated. And I think it elevates the experience for everybody in an RV park as the market matures. And so it's one of these businesses right now that's not very mature, but is progressing.
Mm-hmm. Now, your company hires Workampers to work at all of these parks that you own. Is that right?
We do. We have teams at each park, and they are supported by our management team. We have a general manager who works directly with all of our park managers, and our park managers help facilitate the day-to-day operations in the park, where we have other staff and work campers. Most of the time, those folks have picked the location they're at and want to be in that location. And sometimes what happens is somebody's ready to move on, or they want to try a different spot, and we can move them around a little bit depending on where we have parks. But yes, we utilize work campers at each location, and for the most part, they stay there until they're ready to move on. And we hope to be able to keep people and move them into another park that we are responsible for.
Oh, well, that's a good idea. So if they want to explore a different region of the country, you might have an RV park there.
We might. And that idea came because of a work camper. A lady named Kathy started working for us in 2019. And Kathy is a wonderful lady. She's like a bird. That would be how I would describe her. She's always flying somewhere else, and has for years lived her life where she'll take a job. She works for 4 to 6 months, and then she moves on to the next destination. And I really liked Kathy. So we tried to build a program around her temperament, and recognizing that it fits that way. A lot of work campers are, or some, I should say, maybe not a lot, but some. And so, yeah, she was kind of the genesis of this idea, and it has worked well for us, and it gives us the opportunity to keep people, build a relationship with them, and they don't have to go learn a new job every time they go on to the next spot.
Yeah, that's a very good point. There's a great big RV park conglomerate with hundreds of campgrounds in it that has work campers that just go from one park to another. So the efficiencies involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
How long?
Yeah, well, sorry, Greg, we're not that large, but I think I probably know who you're talking about. But that's kind of the vision for the way we have our program set up, even though we're much smaller.
So how long have you been utilizing work campers?
Just about 2.5 years, since 2019.
Oh, that's right. Very good. So what kind of jobs are you hiring work campers to perform?
Well, right now, we need people for all of our opportunities. Anything that you can think of in an RV park, we have availability for people to work the desk and to take reservations, to do guest services. And then we always need help with landscaping and maintenance work. So there's opportunities, and we utilize work campers in each of those responsibilities in the parks.
Do any of the parks have food service operations?
We do not have food service. I'm slowing down to make sure I'm not missing anything. No, we don't offer food service anywhere. I have pursued some RV parks that do have it, but we don't offer food service. No.
Okay. So what kind of benefits do work campers provide to RV park management that you really can't get from local hires?
I think it's helpful that work campers understand the RVing lifestyle. I think what I've observed is that they often do a very good job of helping people get set up. They're typically really good at welcoming guests and bringing them into the park. Most of the time, our parks are leading people to their site. So you can imagine, what it's like to be led to a site and have somebody
Yes.
help you get set up in your site. I think work campers are really good at that. And that's a really important touch point. That's the first experience in the park. I think they're also really good at bringing new ideas to us. As you have traveled around, or you're an RVer, you see best practices from the places you've been. And we, being a small organization, are always iterating and trying to improve. And I think our work campers have shared some really great ideas and helped to implement them into our whole organization so that we constantly get better. So those are two things that stand out to me.
Sure. It kind of makes sense to use work campers in those positions too, especially when they're newbies coming into a campground and they don't have a clue really what to do because they haven't been trained yet. And it's nice to have an experienced work camper who's also an RVer show them, well, this is where you plug this in, this is how you do this, and how you level, and whatever the case might be. I don't know if your work campers provide that kind of service, but I sure appreciated it when I was out and about.
Yes. And we typically a lot of times our work campers are in the cart. And when a guest arrives, we check them in, or maybe they've already been checked in, but we often lead them to their site. And it's usually a work camper that's doing that for the reasons you just described. And a lot of people do like that extra help. Even if they know what they're doing, they often appreciate that help once they get to their site.
Are your campgrounds seasonal or are they year round?
No, because we're year round because of our geography. Surely we will get into seasonal parks as we expand, but being here in the South, we're open year round.
Okay. Does that mean that somebody can come there and work at the same location for an entire year if they want to?
Yes, they can.
Okay. Very good.
We do have some of our parks do have a seasonal nature to them, but they don't shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes our staff will stay there all year and we have guests all year. But some places like the beach, for example, we have two parks on the Texas coast, one in Galveston and one in Rockport, and they have up seasons and down seasons, but they're never empty. Same thing with our parks in Florida. It's similar there, where they get busier at certain times of the year and we may staff up a little bit, but I don't see a lot of our staff coming in and out. Usually they stick around all year.
I understand you're rather unique in that some of your jobs can be done remotely. I'd love to learn how that works.
Yeah, this is another Kathy idea. She, if you think back about what I said about her as being a bird, part of her desire was to take sabbaticals, but she could still do her job from where she was. And the idea was that we could set up a call center. And so we've done that. We have a call center, and it primarily functions as a backup to our park staff. Typically phones and reservations are routed through our offices at the RV parks, but we have a little bit of redundancy with our call center. And what it looks like is if somebody calls the park and for some reason the staff on site can't answer the phone will forward automatically to somebody in the call center, and the call center will pick it up and greet them just as if they'd called the park. So the guest doesn't know they've reached somebody in Arizona, for example, because maybe Kathy's in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kathy or whoever's in the call center has access to all of the systems that are being used at the park. It's just that they're on a laptop in front of them wherever they may be. And so we don't have a lot of these job opportunities available, but we do have some, and they're really important because you think about what that first point of touch is like when somebody calls the park. They need a friendly voice. They need somebody to help get them squared away right away. And oftentimes we're able to answer phones even outside of business hours because of the call center and people's ability to pick up the phone from their desk. And so that's how our remote work has worked. We've also figured out a way to check guests in and out from remote locations. And so that's been helpful, where people get their welcome packages and know what site they're going to. It's not quite as personal as when they check into the office at the park, but if we need to, we can send somebody a welcome guide right before their arrival and let them know, here's how you get to your site, and this is the one you're going to, and here's who you call if you need help.
That's pretty neat. How many hours do your work campers typically work in a week?
It varies. I think most of the time it's in 20 to 25 hours. We certainly have a lot of people that are full-time, but I think most of our work campers are in that 20-hour range, somewhere in there.
Okay. Are these volunteer positions or are they paid?
We have very few volunteer positions. Most of our folks are getting a site plus wages. Some of that depends on hours and what their responsibilities are. So certainly not everybody is getting a wage, but this is another thing I think we do a little bit different. When I started in the RV park business, I know that a lot of, at the time, which is only a few years back, but a lot of people were trading sites for hours.
Right.
And we've kind of gone away from that. We feel like we get better people if they get their site plus they get wages. We even have opportunities for benefits. We have health benefits for certain staff members depending on their responsibilities and their hours. So yeah, we kind of do it a little different. I think I don't think we use work campers in the traditional way, or pay them in the traditional way, I should say.
Are the work campers expected to put in a certain number of hours just to get the site, and then you're paid for any hours above and beyond that, or are all the hours paid?
Again, it varies.
Okay.
There are a lot of people that work for us that work close to full-time or full-time, and they get their site plus they get wages on top of their hours. So they're not being deducted for their site rent. I guess the way to think about that is I think they're being paid more than they would be in another park oftentimes. So if their site's $500 a month or $400 a month, we're not taking that out of their pay in most cases. There are work campers who are getting discounted site rent, and then they may get additional pay if they go beyond a certain number of hours. I don't think we have anybody that's just working for site rent, though. I think everybody's making a little bit of extra money at a minimum with us.
That's always nice. Are there specific traits or qualifications you're looking for in work campers?
Yes. We like versatile people. Since we're a small company, we need people who are willing to be thoughtful in their work and be willing to do a broad scope of things. Oftentimes they're hired for one thing, but we like them to have the opportunity to contribute. So people that have a lot of job experience in other fields can contribute in a big way to us. So I think versatility is really important. We really want people that adhere to our first principle of our business, which is that this is a people business, and that we're going to treat people with respect and kindness at all times, even when they don't deserve to be treated that way. There are some times where people are unruly, and so our first principle is just that we're always going to adhere to kindness and respectfulness. And so some people can't control their emotions, and they're not a good fit for us.
Okay.
So I think those two things, versatile people and just kind of a innate sense that you're going to be kind and good people is the primary thing we're looking for initially.
That's really important because, there are a lot of places that you go to where it seems to be a distraction that you're arriving at their site. or at their campground. And
Hmm.
it's a people business, like you said, and people are there to have fun and or travel and enjoy life. And it's just nice to be treated well.
Hmm. Yeah, and I can think of a few examples that have really just been difficult for us as a management team to deal with. And one example that comes to mind a lot for me is people speed through RV parks. We all know it happens, and we try to post signs, even clever signs about the speed limit being 5.5 miles an hour, or something odd to try to get people not to speed, but they do. And when workers are yelling at people driving through the park to slow down, that just doesn't jive with our first principle. And that's one I feel like we've dealt with a lot. There are other examples, but that's just one where adherence to that first principle and going to somebody and enforcing the rules in a kind way just goes a lot further, I
Hmm.
think, in the long run.
I agree. Makes more friends. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, do the work campers need any special skills or training to do these jobs?
they do. We integrate quite a few tools from a technology standpoint to help us support our staff at the parks and to be active as a management team with our park staff. So we teach operating software, we teach a lot of systems. It doesn't require a lot of tech savviness, but it's helpful if somebody understands how to get around on a computer or use apps on a cell phone, because we utilize those things. So anybody that's got a little bit more tech savvy usually feels a little bit faster to onboard for us.
Hmm. Now, because your parks are open year round and the work campers are working all year, is there an actual recruiting season or are you always looking for people?
I think we recruit as we grow, and that's really been what we've experienced. So as we have more job opportunities come up or as people move around, then we're always recruiting, I guess, is the answer. It hasn't been like that for long. Of course, we're still a young company, as I mentioned, but we're very aggressive in our recruiting right now. We're really looking for good people. We're being proactive in hiring for more than what we actually need at the moment, because we know that there are opportunities coming down the line for us. And so it's an ongoing process right now.
Do you have positions open right now that people could jump into, or are you looking for somebody in the future?
We do have positions available right now. If somebody wants to send their resume to us, you can email Kyra, it's Kyra at rvparkpm.com, and Kyra will make sure your resume gets to the right spot. But we do have jobs available. We're opening a new park in Rockport, Texas. We have a lead staff that's going to go down there in June, but we need support staff, an assistant manager there, maybe somebody that could actually step into the management role, because our head team will move on to our next destination. We have opportunities in Florida. Right now it's in North Florida around Gainesville. So there's an opportunity there. And I know we have an opportunity in Central Texas in the Hill Country right now as well. So yes, there are opportunities for people that want to be in Texas and Florida.
Okay. Am I understanding correctly that you would utilize work campers as managers?
Not as managers.
Okay.
Those are full-time hired positions, and those people are, uh, full-time staff, but certainly folks that are sitting up front with the managers will utilize work campers there.
Hmm. And how do you usually find these people?
We post jobs. My general manager and our IT manager, Kyra and Chris are their names. They typically will post jobs through different job boards. We post on Facebook. In fact, I think I might have found Kathy through Workamper news, or the work camping sites that are available, and then certainly Facebook and places like that. So we just try to cast a wide net.
Okay. And what's involved in the interviewing and hiring process?
We receive resumes or inquiries from people, and there's an initial screening based on what they think they want to do and what their experience is. And then they usually will have an introductory phone call with somebody on our staff. Again, it's usually Chris or Kyra who reaches out initially, kind of does that first screening, and then we'll do a second round with them. And oftentimes I'm involved in that at that point. And so we'll just set up usually it's a video conference and get to know the team and see if they like us. And if we think they're a good fit for what we know we have available, then we'll invite them to come to Texas and train them at a park here before sending them out.
Okay. How long is that training?
They usually need 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay. Super.
And
So
we typically what we'll do is we'll bring them to Central Texas. It's a nice location and there's lots to do, and maybe we could speed the process up a little bit. It doesn't always need to take that long. I think some of it's dependent on what availability there is, but they get a lot of support because our management team is really close to this particular park where we bring them. And so, yeah, it's a nice spot to be for a little while. Most people don't have a problem with coming to Central Texas for a few weeks.
Sure. So they're going to spend a couple of weeks with you and then go on to their duty assignment.
Yes, that's the plan.
Okay. Very good. What kinds of things can work campers do around these campgrounds that you guys own? Are they all near the coast?
No, they're not. They depends on, they vary in locations. I think we certainly like folks to be in the office. I think our work campers have done a really good job. So if they're familiar with front office duties and they are extremely friendly, I find that the work campers do a good job with our reservations and just kind of having that engagement with the guests. I also like work campers that are kind of have a great ability for guest relations. I think the softer side of the business is really important to us, where we want to host events and we want to show appreciation to our guests and we want to do kind things for people on their birthday. Or I'm thinking about there's the park in Gainesville, Florida, that there's a big health system there and people come in for medical care and doing kind things for people that are in a situation like that. And so work campers often fill those roles really well. And then I think the gardening and the landscaping and just kind of the finer details of some of the maintenance and the aesthetics of the property, the work campers tend to do a really good job with that stuff too.
Can you talk about the locations of your parks just to give people an idea of where they might be working?
Most of what we're doing is in Texas because of where we're at. We since we're still small and still relatively new, just a couple years old, it's mostly going to be, I visualize it as a triangle. We're mostly in Central Texas and then over to the coast. So that would take you over towards Houston and then on south down to Corpus Christi and Rockport and then kind of back up. So that's kind of our triangle in Texas. And then in Florida, we're in North and Central Florida. That's kind of Ocala, Gainesville area.
Okay. Well, there's plenty to do in
But
Texas.
most people, if they're going to reach out to us, should probably expect that we'll need them in Texas. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's lots to do in that state, isn't there?
There is lots of people moving here.
500 miles wide.
Oh, I think it may be more. It's a long way. Yeah.
Super. So yeah, just once people come and talk to you and apply for a job, you kind of feel them out and then let them know where they'll probably be located. Is that how you'd like it to work? Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll stay with us, so they may work in a park that we're responsible for. Either we own or we manage completely. In other cases, we may send them to a park where we have a relationship with the owner, and that owner needs some staff or some help. And so us having trained and built a relationship with the work camper gives that owner a little more comfort that, all right, this person has been trained and checked out, and their RV park management likes them, and so we'll do that kind of relationship as well.
Mm-hmm. Do all of your parks use the same software and services so that if people are familiar with how it works in one, they can just jump into another?
Yeah, that's a good question. And the answer is yes. If we're responsible for managing it, we keep our systems the same.
Okay. What can a Workamper do to really stand out among other applicants when submitting an application?
That is a good question. And I think I would go back to the first principle that I shared about our business. We obviously care about it being successful as a business, and there's a financial element to that. But that first principle and communicating to us how you fit into that first principle or you adhere to that first principle in your life would go a long way with us. So how are you great to people? How have you expressed kindness? What kind of things have you done to develop the softer side of your relationships in RV parks? And do you think that you have the right temperament for that? Because some people just don't. And so I think that first principle is really important to us, and that would be a good place to start if you reach out to us.
Are you looking for primarily experienced RVers, or would people with less than a year's worth of experience be able to fit into one of these jobs?
I think both.
Okay.
I don't think tenure comes into play too strongly when we're looking at people to hire.
Very good. So where can people get more information if they want it?
You can go to our website.
That's rvparkpm.com.
rvparkpm.com. You can read about our team and see who's on our management team. You can also see a couple of our RV parks are listed there. Not everything that we're responsible for, but a couple are there. You can also email Kyra. I gave her email address. That's Kyra. It's KYRA at rvparkpm. And those are the best ways to reach us. If you call the number on our website, you'd get our general manager. So that would be another way to connect.
Very good. Well, thank you, Austin. I really appreciate the time. This has been good information. And it sounds like a really interesting and exciting opportunity for somebody who wanted to get involved with a company, not just jump from one site to another, but to go spend a summer in Texas and then go down to Florida for the winter, or 1 year in Texas, 1 year in Florida.
I think so. And I appreciate the opportunity to share this with you, Greg. Thank you.
I appreciate Austin Faught, the founder and owner of RV Park Management, for coming on today's show to describe the opportunities he has for Workampers at several campgrounds around the country. Because the company specializes in RV Park Management, the staff is always looking for new ways to improve service to RVers. I was impressed by Austin's desire to improve what he calls touch points, which are ways to provide personalized service, such as speaking to a real person rather than an answering machine. When a Workamper suggests a new idea and it works well, chances are good it's something that would be implemented in other RV parks. So it's possible to have tremendous impact on the operation of several campgrounds. Generally, Workampers are on the clock 20 to 25 hours per week. Almost all of the jobs are paid, and they come with a free RV site. Austin thinks his campgrounds attract better people when Workampers are paid for the hours they work without having to pay money back to the business in order to rent an RV site. There are some full-time jobs available as well, and they come with extra benefits like health insurance. So RV Park Management really is trying to elevate the work camping opportunities and perks across the board. People who enjoy a variety in their job, love challenges, have a knack for identifying ways to make improvements, will likely find working for RV Park Management to be a great job. People can email resumes to Kyra, Kyra, at rvparkpm.com. More information about the company is available at www.rvparkpm.com. Sounds like an excellent way to continue working for a forward-thinking company while enjoying different parts of the country. This is just one of hundreds of opportunities available to people through Workamper News. With its Diamond and Platinum membership tools, Workamper News is much more than just a job listing website. When you put the tools of this professional service into action, you'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your work camping dreams into reality. The one-year memberships open the door to a one-stop shop for all things work camping. Being the original source for work camping, you'll find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with the community of work campers and view resources compiled by experts who've been enjoying the RV lifestyle for many years. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable work camping lifestyle, then a Diamond or Platinum membership is for you. You can even get started with a free 30-day trial by visiting www.workamper.com/trial. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. That's all I have for this week's show. Now that Memorial Day is behind us, that must mean that summer has officially arrived. Although I understand it snowed last week in northern Wisconsin. That's crazy. Next week, I'll speak with several women who work for Aramark Hospitality about work camping opportunities at their network of RV resorts. I'll have all the details on the next episode of The Workamper Show. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a very enjoyable summer.